Hi, in this video we're going to talk about Kandinskij and we're going to briefly explain his career and show some of his major artworks. Now we're going to start with this over here to the left. It represents a charming prince on a horse with a princess in his arms, and you can tell it's one of the early works of Kandinskij because of these dots which are spread around the painting. They really resent of the Impressionist influence. You can tell that, and you can see all the light that all the attention that is paid to representing in the best way possible the lights in this really romantic lake and city. So, the representation of light and colors was the main goal of the Impressionist artists. Now, Kandinskij is mainly famous for Abstractism, and here we have a very important work of his, which is the first abstract aquarelle made in 1911. Now, what Abstractism is about is not having any figures, not having any objects represented or any people represented. It's just the colors and the shapes which must communicate to the observer. Now, legend says that Kandinskij came up with this idea once when he went into his studio. He found one of his paintings put upside down, and he said, "Wow, that's really nice." Now what he was seeing, what transmitted him something, were the colors and the shapes. He did not really understand what the subject was, so that, according to the legend, gave him the idea to start abstract work. Now, as you can see over here, we have an Italian painter, which is Giacomo Balla, in 1913, so it's 2 years later. 2 years after this, paints actually another abstract painting independently from Kandinskij. Now this is supposed to represent light, but you might not consider that abstract because you see a lot of triangles, but if you think that what it wants to represent is light, the title is something like prismatic vibrations or something like that. It really does not have much to do with light. It's pretty much an abstract painting, but he was not the first one, so Kandinskij is much more famous for that. Then here we can see another abstract painting of Kandinskij. This, in my opinion, is not a complete abstractism, because here, now I'm going to scribble on the painting, but just to show you, here you can see figures. At least I consider them figures. They look like people to me. And this over here in the background looks like a mountain. I'm going to undo this in order for the painting to come back up. Okay, now so it's not really abstract, but anyways, the figures are not that important. I mean, there's the main thing over here is the colors. Now over here to the left we can find a very interesting example of geometrical abstractism. It's a second period in the career of Kandinskij, and as you can see, it's mainly characterized by lines, triangles, circles, squares. Everything is geometrical. That's the main goal of this kind of abstractism, representing no figures, just colors, but throughout geometrical shapes. So it's called geometrical abstractism. There is no subject here if you look. It just wants to communicate to you feelings. Now Kandinskij's goal was to communicate with an universal language of colors and, at most, shapes. But mainly colors. Now, unfortunately, that's not really possible because the meaning you give to colors depends on the culture you come from. I don't know, say white, in some cultures it represents pureness, or it's used for wedding dresses. In some others it actually represents death, like in Africa, I believe, or in Asian culture. So that's not really possible, but anyways, that was his ideal. This is another period of Kandinskij, which is the organic period. And as you can see, he represents these kind of things which look like, I don't know, they remind me of crabs or something like that. Anyways, they want to seem, they look like little living creatures, but if you look at them carefully, it's not like they are, I don't know, they represent anything specific. Maybe this looks like a crab and a turtle to me, and this one too, but anyways, it's called organic period. Now here we have one last painting, which is an abstract painting by a modern painter. It's really recent. It's been done these years, and you can see some shapes over here, like this eye, or this, I don't know, it reminds me of a bird a little. And the whole atmosphere it's supposed to transmit, it's a kind of magical or immersed in the full nature. It reminds me of a jellyfish, but anyways, it's abstract, so as we now know, there's no real figures, there's no real subject or object represented, but just colors. Just that all these colors together with their shapes give me kind of this idea of being inside nature. Okay, see you for the next video.